Tomb Raider Anniversary in 2025 is one of those games that sneaks back into the conversation every few years, usually when players start craving old-school puzzles, giant stone temples, and a version of Lara Croft who isn't constantly falling off cliffs or fighting trauma demons. It's the remake of the 1996 original, rebuilt with the mid-2000s engine, and somehow it still refuses to age out of relevance. But is it actually worth playing today in 2025? The core gameplay in Anniversary is still rock solid in 2025. The platforming is tight, the traversal is satisfying, and the puzzles strike a good balance between, yes, my brain is enormous, and, okay, time to stare at this wall for 12 minutes. It's the kind of design where levels feel like giant escape rooms rather than hallways filled with enemies. One of the biggest strengths is how the game doesn't hold your hand. If you're used to modern titles flashing glowing yellow lines everywhere like an overexcited tour guide, Anniversary will feel different. You actually think your way through environments. You look around, you experiment, you fail, you fall again. Then you finally nail the puzzle and boom, instant serotonin. Each location feels handcrafted in a way newer games sometimes forget. Peru, Greece, Egypt, they still hit with that classic tomb raiding flavor. There's a sense of isolation and wonder that you don't usually get in today's more cinematic, explosive entries. Now, Anniversary uses the Legend-style control system, which is basically the closest thing to modern movement it could have had at the time. In 2025, it still feels surprisingly smooth. It's not acrobatic to the level of modern action games, but it gets the job done. Jumping, grabbing ledges, hanging off cliffs, these still hold up. Sure, there's the occasional moment where Lara makes a surprise decision to jump into the abyss because your analog stick was 0.2 degrees off, but hey, that's tradition by this point. Combat is, well, it exists. Anniversary isn't trying to be a third-person shooter. Enemies mostly serve as brief stress tests between puzzles. You point, dodge, shoot, and move on. It's simple and it's fine, but if action is what you want, you're in the wrong tomb. Let's be honest, the camera occasionally behaves like it's fighting for its life. Tight corners can send it into mild panic, and certain jumps feel spicier than they should because of camera angles. Performance depends on the platform, but generally you're getting a smooth experience. Just don't expect fully modernized textures or next-gen visual upgrades. Here's the big question. Does Tomb Raider Anniversary still deserve your time today? Surprisingly, yes, if you're the kind of player who appreciates classic design. In a gaming landscape filled with open-world bloat, battle passes, and microtransaction chaos, Anniversary feels clean and focused. You load in, raid a tomb, solve puzzles, and explore ancient spaces without being blasted by 50 UI elements telling you what to do. The game has a timeless charm, partly because modern gaming moved away from this style. It's pure platforming and brain-teasing exploration, no fluff, no filler, no nonsense. Tomb Raider Anniversary in 2025 is a reminder of why the franchise became iconic in the first place. It's not perfect, and it's definitely not pretending to be a brand new blockbuster, but it still delivers smart puzzles, great level design, and exploration that feels genuinely rewarding. If you're a fan of classic adventure games, or just tired of modern titles shouting objectives at you every 5 seconds, this one is absolutely still worth playing. It's the kind of game you revisit when you want something honest, straightforward, and built around gameplay rather than noise. If you've never played it, 2025 is a great time to dive in. If you played it years ago, returning to it now is like revisiting an old tomb. Dusty, a little dangerous, but still magical.